Hey everyone, welcome to Prosperous Life Finance, where I help educate you in becoming a better trader and investor. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 3 stocks to buy in the month of August 2020. So before we start, I would love to thank each and every one of you guys for all the support which I have been receiving, and we are now once again on the road to 400 subscribers. Now this is a major milestone for all of us, and all you guys gotta do is like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Once again, I want to create the largest community for traders and investors in order to help each other out, in order to grow and expand within our investing journey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to start with Apple. Just so you guys know, we are currently in market hours, which is why the price is going to be fluctuating. So starting right off, we see how Apple has a market capitalization of $1.86 trillion. Now this is just a huge tech company, and here's the reason why this is my play for the month. Starting off, let's go ahead and look at a quick chart of Apple. So year to date, we see how obviously within the pandemic, the stock did go down to about a low of around $224. Ever since this March low, this stock has actually skyrocketed over 94% in a matter of months. So there are multiple reasons for this. So now we're going to go ahead and look at them. So one of the major things to note is that Apple actually just released some earnings last week. And as we can see here, Apple announced the financial results for its fiscal 2020 third quarter, which ended June 27th, 2020. As you can see here, the company posted quarterly revenue of $59.7 billion, which is an increase of 11% from the year ago quarter, and quarterly earnings per diluted share of $2.58, which is up over 18%. As we can see here, international sales accounted for 60% of the quarter's revenue. As we can see here, the CEO, Tim Cook, says Apple's record June quarter was driven by double-digit growth in both products and services, and growth in each of our geographic segments. Their CFO also said how their June quarter performance was strong evidence of Apple's ability to innovate and execute during challenging times. Now, this is one thing I want to talk about. As we are still currently in the global pandemic, the economy is not currently looking the best, but we see how this blue chip company, Apple, is still being able to continue and progress throughout these hard times. So this is just an overall very impressive stock. So aside from the continued growth in revenue for this company's past quarter earnings, I think it is a great play this month of August due to the fact that Apple actually just announced a stock split. Now, as you can see, the company is currently trading at around $436 per share, and what that stock split will allow to do is to bring the stock price down to around a little bit over $100. So as you can see, Apple said a stock split would allow it to appeal to a broader base of investors, and as you can see, the move will appeal to investors who have a difficult time buying a stock at triple-digit price. So Apple said that on August 24th, investors are going to receive 3 additional shares for every 1 share they own, while the stock price would be divided by 4, bringing it closer to $100. Now, there are a few important things to actually know about stock splits. So the great thing to know is that the stock split is actually going to have zero impact on Apple's fundamentals or market value, but will help the stock appeal to a broader base of investors, once again, like Apple said. Now, the great thing about a stock split is that it does not affect the company's fundamentals. So in case you guys are confused about that, all the company's going to do is just split the stock up and keep the fundamentals the same in order to just appeal to more investors. Now, this is a great thing because not only will the company's fundamentals stay the same once you own Apple stock, but since more people are going to buy it, it is just by nature going to increase the stock price. So I think it's going to be a great play this month. With very strong quarterly earnings and very impressive results throughout the past 6 months, 1 month, even 5 days, as we can see here, the stock actually increased around 15%. I do think that Apple still has so much potential and room to grow, and I believe this is going to be a very great play. The second stock that is on my list is going to be Microsoft Corporation. Microsoft's market capitalization is $1.62 trillion, another large blue chip company. Now, as you guys can see, just today, it is up over 4.50%. So looking at a quick chart, we do see how year to date, once again, during the pandemic, it did get to a low of around $135 and has actually rebounded to about 57%. So let's go ahead and look at some earnings. So as you can see a few numbers here, their revenue was up $38 billion and increased 13%. Their operating income was $13.4 billion and actually increased 8%. One of the main reasons why I actually invest in Microsoft is due to their cloud business. As you can see here, the executive vice president and CFO of Microsoft said our commercial cloud surpassed $50 billion in annual revenue for the first time this year. And this quarter, our commercial bookings were better than expected, growing 12% year over year. Now, Microsoft is an overall well-established company that does have lots of market dominance within the technology sector. So let's go ahead and look at another reason why this is a very great play for the month of August 2020. So one of the reasons why Microsoft is on my list for this month is due to the fact that that they just added over $77 billion in market value after confirming talks to buy TikTok in the United States. Now, this is actually a very recent article, as this actually just happened today. Shares of Microsoft rose as much as 5% on Monday after they confirmed Sunday that it was continuing talks about buying a popular social media platform, TikTok, in the US. Now, thing to know is that while it is not confirmed, this Microsoft stock is surging, so I think there's going to be a great play this month. Now, in case you guys aren't familiar with TikTok, this is actually a very, very popular social media platform and rose to one of the top social media platforms at a very, very quick pace. So the great thing is that Microsoft said on Sunday that it planned to complete discussions with ByteDance, which is the platform's parent company, by September 15th. So what this means is that within this month or at the beginning of September, we're going to have news of how this deal is going. So one thing for us as investors is to actually see an opportunity and actually act on it. So once again, this acquisition is going to be major for Microsoft, and I think it is a great play for us all. So this is my second stock, which is going to be Microsoft. So the third top stock to buy in the month of August 2020 would be Moderna. And Moderna is actually a biotechnology company which is on the race to find a vaccine for this current global pandemic. Now, as we can see here, Moderna is actually up around 4.28% in just one day. And as we can see, their market capitalization is $28.71 billion. So we are currently looking at a chart of Moderna, and as we can see, year to date, the stock has actually gone up over 300% within 6 months, around the same amount, and within the past month, it has actually gone up over 30%. Now, a thing to know about these stocks is that obviously the market is very volatile, especially for stocks that are in such high demand, such as these biotechnology companies, which are focused on drug discovery, drug development, and obviously vaccines that are going to cure this current global pandemic. And now here are the reasons why I think Moderna is a very great play for the month of August. So number one is that the phase 3 just started. As you can see, Moderna actually launched its phase 3 trial July 27th, and the study is going to test a vaccine candidate on as many as 30,000 participants across 100 sites. So the overall probability of success in clinical trials is 33.4%, which is according to research published in Biostatistics last year. Now, as you can see here, that is the highest probability of success among all therapeutic groups. So this is actually one of the reasons why I think it is a great play this month. Secondly, there is lots and lots of government funding. As you can see here, the US government chose the company as one to support as part of its initiative to help bring a vaccine to the market by January 2020. So we can see here, Operation Warp Speed actually awarded Moderna up to $483 million to cover development through regulatory approval. Now, as we can see here, the government in late July increased the total award to $955 million to fund an expansion of phase 3 testing to over 30,000 volunteers. Now, one thing to know is that this is a very huge amount of money which the government is funding for this company. Now, the reason I think this is a great play is that with the backing of the government, this is actually a very great time for this company. So once again, Moderna stock is just very impressive. Looking within the past 6 months, it has gone up over 277%. So Moderna is once again a very great play, which I am very bullish about for the month of August, as they are continuing their clinical phase trials, have lots of government funding, and has had success within the past. Now, being one of the top companies to be on the race to this current global vaccine, whether they find it or not, this is still a very great play for all of us traders and investors. Now, one final thing to actually know about Moderna is that their earnings report actually come out in a couple of days. By the time you are actually watching this, the Moderna earnings report may actually be out. But one thing to know is that since the markets are so volatile, whether the earnings reports are positive or negative, there are still opportunities for all of us as investors and traders in order to make a play for the month. So that is one thing I would like to let you guys know. So let's actually go ahead and take a more technical look at all of these 3 stocks. What you see on the screen is a TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim trading platform, which is my platform of choice for trading and investing. So starting off, we have Apple stock, and as you can see, we're currently looking at a 10-day chart. Now, just some quick background on these indicators that you see on the screen. The first one we see is this blue line right here, which is the 9-day exponential moving average, which actually gives you an exponential average of the price point. Under that, we have the volume indicator, and under that, we have the MACD. Now, the MACD is just simply an indicator which actually helps you with entry and exit points, as you can see with these 2 lines right here. Under that, we also have the RSI, which is actually a great indicator, which actually notifies you whenever a stock is actually overvalued or undervalued. This red line right here would be considered overvaluation, and this blue line would be considered undervaluation. So starting off within the past 10 days, we see how Apple stock has had a low of $356 and has had a high of $446. Now, you can see this is a $90 increase in less than 10 days. So we can see how Apple is just on this massive bullish run, and in my opinion, I do continue to see this rally going up. Now, one thing to know is that obviously you want to enter at a great point, so this is when these indicators come to play. As you can see right now, the stock is not currently overvalued, so this could be a potential entry point. Now, I would keep my eye on this stock in case you guys would like to get a better entry point, and all you got to do is just try to find a minor pullback, which means that the price point actually goes under this 9-day EMA, and then you slowly start to see it rise up again to actually notify an entry point. So now we're looking at Microsoft stock. It has had a low of $197.51 and a high of $215.16. Now, as of right now, Microsoft stock is currently showing a bit of overvaluation. So once again, I always tell all of my investors and traders out there to always have an entry and exit strategy. Once again, a short-term trader is going to have a very different approach than a long-term investors, but depending on your strategy, obviously if you want to play this stock for just the month of August, you would actually kind of wait for a slight pullback and the RSI to not show any indication of overvaluation, so that you know that you are getting a good price for your entry point. So looking at this stock, once again, due to the current news, and since they are in the talks of acquiring a large social media platform that is currently trading, which is TikTok, I do see this stock still rallying up. Now that once again comes with its slight pullbacks, which is normal within volatile markets, but overall still holding its uptrend. Now lastly, we're going to be taking a look at Moderna stock. As we can see, within the past 10 days, it has had a high of $99.78 and a low of $66.54. Now, one thing to note is that the RSI is actually currently showing that it is not overvalued at all, so this would be a potential buying point. As we can see, zooming in, we actually see how the price point actually crossed up the 9-day EMA, which is now currently in an uptrend. Now, one thing to know about these vaccine stocks is that they have actually been very volatile due to the fact that they are all in high demand, and obviously they are on the eye of the public as they continue to race for a vaccine in order to cure the current pandemic. With all of the volatility in the markets, I do urge all of my investors to have an entry and exit strategy and actually incorporate proper risk management and stop losses in case your trade does not go your way. Now, once again, Moderna has been in this slight downtrend for the past few days, but has actually broken this 9-day EMA, which actually does show signs of a potential uptrend, and is one that I continue seeing since once again they do have lots of government funding and are now under phase 3 of clinical trials. So that was a technical look at all top 3 stock picks. One very last thing I always tell all of my viewers out there is to always create your own due diligence and extensive research. Now, all of these 3 stocks are just my opinion and are based on my own personal due diligence and extensive research. I actually have positions in all 3 of these stocks and actually plan on adding more as the month continues and I continue to see more opportunities. I always urge all of my investors to also stick to the original plan. Once again, whether you are a short-term trader or a long-term investor, always have an entry and exit strategy and just an overall long-term plan of how you're going to approach this stock for the month or even throughout the next few months or even throughout the year. So with all that being said, I would like to know what you guys are actually playing for this month, and actually let me know if you guys like these stocks or actually have your own stocks which you're planning on playing for the month of August 2020. Now, once again, I would love for each and every single one of you guys to actually go ahead and join the Prosperous Life family. And all you got to do is simply like this video and subscribe to this channel. Once again, we are on the road to 400 subscribers. So thank you all for watching. God bless you all. Very best of luck. And I will see you all within the next video.